Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 12, day 3. It is March 22nd, 2017. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. To support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, guys, it was sell-off sell-off Tuesday. It is Wednesday, and that's it. Flat market today. Thought we can go in either direction, being ready in both ways. So pretty much after yesterday's sell, looking for price action to perhaps repair market profile upside. Seeing maybe we retest the lowers to at least the 50 MA or the ES holding on to the 50 MA. To the downside, looking for the lower time frames on the MMLs to reset, as we were already on weakness down there, for more levels downside, and basically watching for the HA bars to keep us in trend. All right, there was our big picture this morning as market action started to get going. Let's jump into the pre-market trend as we see each day posted 15 minutes prior to the market open. Daily outlook here. Again, checking out the morning intraday micro view of where things stood from the previous session through Mr. Ken Polcari and from Shadow Traders. We'll get into the market profile here in a moment. Looking at econ highlights for today, we're looking at crude, home price index, and home sales. As pre-market, VIX was already down 12.21, and big screen share this morning. There it was, price action again. Thinking maybe Globex follow through either way. It's all about where we are pre-market. No way indicative of where we were headed today, as we saw pre-market action on the indices already upside and holding above the VWAP, showing that Globex did not continue the downslide from yesterday. Crude already on the slide, still holding under 48 at this point. Pretty much chop across the board. Hey guys, I wanted to show you a chart yesterday, and again, it pertains to the screen share here. I want to pull up yesterday's screen share. There's a reason I'm showing you this. It was a great example. I forgot to show this in yesterday's video, but as you can see, top row, we have crude upper left, GC, the yen, and the euro. You can see the charts here all in the green. And the bottom row, the U.S. indices, NQYM and ES across the board. This is a prime example of when markets are truly in what I call sync, meaning if the gold and the yen and the euro are moving upside, it would be my hope that the downstairs on the screen share here, as you can see, would all be in trend to the downside. Now, does that happen all the time? No, especially on like post FOMC last week. I showed you a picture of the screen share where everything was up in the green. Well, one of those rows has to give, and eventually it does. And that was a great example from yesterday. So having shown you now the screen share from today's price action, I wanted to go ahead and bring that up. All right, so screen share there it was. Crude was down, gold up. Indices were up this morning as we were looking for the NQ. Today hitting a high of 53.76. 53.76 was hitting in between the two levels here. Downside down to 53.15, so just shy of that 53.12 first level down. Hey guys, we were already downside. Let's take a look at the short-term pick here on the NQ pre-market. Lower time frame. I actually looked at lower time frames and higher time frames today to appreciate both levels. So here we are, MML lows, expecting a reset here on the 15-minute chart. So anything upside was a level to watch, but already at the lows here on the 60-minute charts. And as we take a look here at the higher time frame, again, looking to see if we were to move downside. If you take a look at the 15-minute chart here for a moment, I want to show you 15-minute chart. You don't have many more levels to go down. So what you do is you either wait for the reset or you wait for at least on the looking for the higher time frame. We already have levels that have been here for a while. So these to me would be the next levels down. So the fact that 53.12 here was holding, maybe perhaps 50 MA downside. If we lose that, we'd if the selling was to continue in today's market, 53.24 would have been the next level downside. And especially after taking a look at the overnight, that was the Globex TPO. That was our move from yesterday. We were still holding 100% net short. So if there is no way the market action was going to come out and close this and move higher, perhaps price action was going to continue downside and grab some of those lower levels. So that was our pre-market analysis on the NQ. All right, let me take a look. And again, as noted, we'll take a look here in a moment at the open gaps. We got a long trail down and get the next open gap. ES, we were looking at some of these levels upside. ES with a high here today of 23.4875, so not getting anywhere near close to the upside level. And downside, the low for today, 23.32, and not actually getting all the way downside. So, hey, guys, they're just levels, they're numbers, and you take a hope that price action will run to one of those in trend, but if they don't, they don't, and that's the way it is. All right. Where were we pre-market? Let's take a look at the NES pre-market. There we go. As we can see, similar picture is on the NQ. We're holding down at the MML lows. Anything upside were some of those levels I was looking at. Market didn't get up there. So we go to the higher time frame and we ask ourselves, well, maybe we'll come down here to 23.12. And if we lose that, we'll start heading down to 22.50. Anybody's guess, right? At that point, taking a look at the TPO, there it is, ES Globex, same picture as the NQ after yesterday's price action. Again, 100% pretty much net short here, not breaking above yesterday's close here on the market profile. And again, if price action was going to come out and take care of unfinished business, would expect the market to perhaps close downside. Again, each morning, I like to take the shadow trader analysis, source in the left-hand corner. Check it out on his channel or on my retweets. Again, overnight inventory 100% net short. And so the quick analysis here, continuing to monitor, holding below should take the market lower over time as well. So again, can't help but to formally invite you to check out his blog, which or post, which comes out about 30 minutes prior to 30 minutes to 15 minutes prior to the market open. Okay. Anyway, all right. So there was our pre-market trend. Price action today, again, there it was, flat market. ESYM, YM actually closing out a gap today, but for the most part, NQ, a little bit of a move higher, upside today, but VIX closing out just slightly upside, 1281. Sectors actually ended up finishing in the green upside after a little bit of econ highlights here today. Not much to ramp the market up. A little bit of news out of London today. And the health bill, politics out of Washington as well. So overall, the index trends choppy across the board, both Globex and US session. Not many charts of highlight today, guys. Only the NQ here, pretty much AM session at this point. I was noticing a lot of chop this morning, so decided to go to the higher time frame. You can see up here 15-tick chart, usually watching on a 10-tick range chart. So out of the gates, NQ, nice move to the upside. So ending up full session, there we go. Not a bad move for the day, 36.75 up to 65.50. NQ really the only one getting a move up, but ES and YM pretty much holding flat markets today. Here, we'll take a look at the chart in a moment. But out of the gate upside, pull back, another very noisy on the 10-tick range chart. Might have taken a scalp down here. I would have gone with the higher probable entries today where all things were in the green. Third setup of the AM session up here. Price action pulls back, and you got yourself an afternoon little pop here, and remainder of the afternoon just dropped itself out. Take a look at the YM. Again, YM closing out a gap here today, but pretty much flat market, opening 583, closing up 599. Again, similar price action, a little bit of movement downside in the red, so you got yourself a nice move. ES and YM actually leading to the downside, but it was the NQ that seemed to pull up the rest of the indices here towards the end of the session today. And the ES, same picture here. Price action, AM session downside. Late AM session moved to the upside. Opening price again, not closing out too far from 40.25, 42.75. Call it a flat day. Finishing out the day on the NQ market profile. Again, as we saw, We actually did take care of unfinished business, came up, took care of the open gaps, took care of the close of the market profile and the VPOC here as the NQ continues to sit here at the 600-day VPOC. Same picture on the ES. Market gets a little bit of lift. Somewhat of a balanced profile today. Would have liked to see a little bit more of a stretch upside and downside, but for the most part, we got that bell curve for today. All right, let's jump into the charts. Let's take a look at the daily gaps there. All-time high yesterday set after that down move. We first hit that all-time high on the NQ here, regular trading hours, 54.41. Market action recovering back inside this long move here. YM just barely gets a move up, closing out that open gap, 599. So YM next open gap downside at 248. ES weekly opening price here at 72.75 in the yellows across the board. Just barely gets a move up. Remember, we finished flat for the most part today. Next gap down will be 15.75, 315.75. Taking a look at the AD lines. There it was. Price action on the NSS NYSE, unable to break down below the pivot. NQ with its lift upside. We weren't going much further than that 70. Pointing it out each day to show you those upper levels. There it was, 70, 75. Nice move on the NQ to the upper AD lines. All right, across the board, there's our indices for the most part. Showed those full session picks. Crude, again, with a build today on the data. Price action again, pre-market. There's the gold crude release. Pre-market, nice move down. Sell, another sell setup. Downside, price action. Wait for the highest probability entry was later towards the PM session right there. Price action lifts above the cloud. All charts in the green. You got yourselves a winner on the crude. Take a look at gold. Gold again, mocking or mimicking the U.S. indices here today as price action continued to chop within the Globex session. One nice little pocket of move here, but deeper pullbacks. Don't know if you could have held on that long. Pre-market, that was yesterday's gold. So nice move on the gold yesterday after the downslide, but overall session on the gold choppy today. Yen, nice move here towards the end, but overall somewhat choppy inside Globex session. Globex Globex low below, holding above the VWAP. So highest probability entries were to the upside. There was the best move of the session. Again, pretty much finishing out flat there on the yen. Taking a look at the euro, same picture. Remember, guys, Jedi traders, though going through the intraday charts, you want to make sure you check out the weekly bigger picture so that while the intraday setups might show the smaller levels, you want to always make sure you know where the bigger picture is. That's where you can catch them on my technical momentum outlooks. All right, looking ahead to tomorrow and the Globex session. NQ, that's right. Bounce off the low 60 minutes, bounce off the low 4 hour. Good sign, right? MML reset today here on the NQ as I told you it would. NQ MML 15-minute chart resets itself. Here about post 45 minutes, gives yourself an entry to the upside, resistance, 50% pullback and back upside. Do we hold up here? Well, if Globex decides the price action is going to lift, watch for the upper levels here. 53.90 up to 53.85, 53.90. If we can push above. If Globex decides to come back down, watch the 53.51 and back down to 32. Take a look at the YM. After the YM closing out the open gap downside, similar picture. MML reset. Price action pulls up one level to another here in the PM session. Still holding out downside, 60-minute consolidation here on the 60-minute chart. Same theory on the 4-hour chart. If able to hold up here, we'll want to see the retest overnight, 625 up to 654. Anything downside, look for 547 all the way down to 518 on the YM. Wrapping it up on the ES here. Price action on the ES. Again, holding midway here. ES holds upside after consolidation here at the lows. If we hold here, we move upside off the 50-minute chart. Look to 51 all the way up to 57 on the Globex. Downside, we'll be looking at 35 to 30. Again, keep that big picture in mind. NQ still. Downside, watch that 50 EMA and the ES. Taking a look at the daily, the 4-hour, and the core. As we hold down here in support, do we lose the support here? Come down to 312.50 on a Thursday price action? Or do we stay up here on the bigger picture and head back up to 23.75? Remember, always watching the smaller time frames to see if those levels are hit and resistance holds. All right, guys, that's our big picture right now. Heading into tomorrow, economics, it's jobless claims and Janet Yellen, enough to move the market, right? Fed speakers on Friday as well with T-bills announcements tomorrow. More Fed speakers tomorrow, so be wary of price action on the economic calendar for tomorrow. All right, that concludes an insight into the daily trend and technical momentum of the indices in key futures markets. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra, one simple strategy. Any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at TradingFibs. And as always, leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only watch what's in front of me and on my charts. And as always, leave your buys at the door when trading. Hey guys, for those of you who are interested in joining us in our community of like-minded traders seeking those highest probability setups, tomorrow's your day. Feel free to email me, david@tradingfibs.com. You may join us on any Thursday or Friday to view the live chart setups as they happen in the trading day. Chop it was, flat it was, NQ getting the lift for today. How do we know what a choppy market is? Either several consecutive losses or you just see the noise on the charts. Go to the higher time frame is your best bet, or just simply sit out, wait for price action to come back another day. Until then, have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever you may be. Good day, good night, and good trading to you.